Very gently, very gently. Oh no. Oh, hey everybody, Mr. Scott here. Down at my workshop, and you know what? I really need a vacation. I don't know about you, but I feel tired. I feel like I need to take a break. I've been so busy with everything. I've had to work from home because of the virus. I've been busy making inventions. I've been teaching my cats math and spelling. It's just been so much to do, and I feel like I just really need to take a breather. So, how about you? Do you feel like you need a vacation? Yeah, I'm sure you do. So, I've been coming up with an invention that will take me anywhere in the world that I want to go. I call it the Zappifier. See, I put on this hat, I get my keyboard, I type in the location where I want to go, and I hit the go button, and zap! It'll send me anywhere that I want to go. Pretty cool, huh? You know, I think I'd like to go somewhere without storms. We've been having a lot of storms lately, and I don't like storms. I think I'd like to go somewhere warm and dry and without storms. Sound like a good idea? Yeah, I think so too. But hey, you know what? That kind of reminds me of our Bible lesson today. The Bible tells us a historical account of when Jesus calmed a storm. Now, you've probably already heard this story before, but it's really a good one. It's mentioned 3 places in the Bible. It's mentioned in Matthew chapter 8, and also in Mark chapter 4, and in Luke chapter 8. Let's take a look at it. Jesus spent all day teaching crowds of people near the Sea of Galilee. That evening, Jesus wanted to cross over to the other side of the sea. So Jesus and his disciples left the crowds. They got into a boat and began sailing. Some of the people from the crowds followed in their own boats. While Jesus and his disciples traveled, Jesus fell asleep on a cushion in the back of the boat. So did you ever get tired when you were traveling somewhere? Maybe you fell asleep in a car or in an airplane or something like that? Well, Jesus, even though he was fully God, was still human like us. He still would get tired. Maybe at the end of a long day of being busy, he would be tired, or he could get hungry, he could be thirsty, he would get hot or cold, anything like that. Jesus was fully God, but he was fully human like us too. Suddenly a storm came. The wind was strong, and the waves crashed into the boat. Water was coming into the boat, and the disciples were afraid. Many of the disciples were fishermen. They had survived storms on the sea before, but this storm was different. It was so strong. If the water kept coming into the boat would sink. Surely they would all drown. When storms struck in the Sea of Galilee, many times there was no rain. It was just a windstorm. But the wind and the waves could be really, really strong. Now, a lot of Jesus' disciples were fishermen, and they were used to storms. But this storm was so strong, it made them afraid. The disciples looked to Jesus for help, but Jesus was still fast asleep at the back of the boat. He didn't even seem to notice the storm. Did Jesus care that they were going to sink into the sea? The disciples woke up Jesus. "Lord, save us!" they said. "We're going to die!" Now, there's lots of scary things in this world. It's easy to be afraid. What do you do when you're scared? Do you go to mom or dad? Do you run away, or do you try to hide? Some people just get really, really upset. One thing we should always remember to do when we're afraid or when we have problems, we should pray to Jesus. Remember, praying is simply talking to God. He loves us. He's always there for us. And when we're afraid or we're frightened or we run into a problem, he wants us to come to him and ask for help. That should be the first thing we do, not the last. Jesus opened his eyes, and he saw that his friends were afraid. He got up and he spoke to the wind and the sea. He said, "Silence! Be still!" And at the sound of Jesus' voice, the wind stopped blowing, and the waves stopped crashing. Everything was calm. The disciples were safe. Jesus looked at his disciples and asked, "Why were you afraid? Do you still have no faith?" Didn't the disciples trust Jesus to take care of them? The disciples were amazed. "Who is this man?" they asked each other. "That even the wind and the waves obey him. So even though Jesus is human like us, he's also fully God. Only God could calm a storm in the sea. The disciples suddenly began to realize Jesus is God. And that's why he did miracles like that, to prove to everybody that he is God. Why did Jesus perform miracles? Jesus performed miracles to show he is the Son of God. So Jesus is in control of everything. Remember the big word we learned a few weeks ago? The word was sovereign. Jesus is sovereign. That means Jesus is in control of everything. But we also need to remember that Jesus is good. He always does what is good, what is best for his children. See, when bad things happen, Jesus wants us to come to him and ask him for help. Sometimes Jesus does a wondrous, miraculous thing like he did in this story, and he'll take away a problem, or he'll take away the scary thing. But other times, he doesn't take it away, but he promises that he'll go through the problem with us, and he'll help us to be brave and to be strong and to know the right things to do. See, he comforts and he helps his children. Jesus is God, he is sovereign, and he is good. And our memory verse today talks about how much Jesus cares for us, for his children. Psalm 40, verse 5. You have multiplied, O Lord my God, your wondrous deeds and your thoughts toward us. None can compare with you. So this verse means that Jesus does amazing, wondrous things, and his children are always on his mind. Nobody can do miracles like Jesus, and nobody loves us like Jesus does. So let's look at the verse one more time. You have multiplied, O Lord my God, your wondrous deeds and your thoughts toward us. None can compare with you. Psalm 40, verse 5. So let's do the verse together, okay? Are you ready? You have multiplied, put your fingers together like you're making an X, a multiplication symbol, okay? You have multiplied, O Lord my God, your wondrous deeds and your thoughts towards us. None can compare with you. Good, let's try it again. You have multiplied, O Lord my God, your wondrous deeds and your thoughts toward us. None can compare with you. Okay, one more time. You have multiplied, O Lord my God, your wondrous deeds and your thoughts toward us. None can compare with you. Good job. Excellent. That was a hard verse. Well, you know what? I think I'm ready for my vacation. So I'll get my Zappifier ready to go. I'm going to type in my location. I want to go somewhere warm and dry. Okay. Oh, wait. Got my sunscreen. Got my beach towel. Ready to go. Okay, here we go. You ready? Go! Hey, where are you? Where'd you go? Hey, where'd you go? Wait a minute. Oh, there you are. Well, I said I wanted to go someplace dry and someplace warm. So the Zappifier zapped me to the clothes dryer. Okay, kids, well, remind your parents, never climb inside the dryer, never put things that don't belong in the dryer into the dryer, and certainly never take a vacation in the dryer. I guess the Zappifier needs a little more work. Bye, everybody. See you next week.